And I feel really awkward in saying this, but I'm going to be vulnerable in this way because this sounds very, you know what, I'll just say it. You can decide what it sounds like. I am quick to assume that I'm the smartest person in the room. I have never really had that idea challenged until I went to anesthesia school. Now, what I mean by that is it was never challenged in a way that I recognized. Like, I am not saying that I am the smartest person in the room, and I always have been in every situation that I've been in, because that's not true. Every aspect of my life, I've been around people that are smarter than me. But for some reason, I get this idea, and I think it's connected with things like patriarchy, with misogynism, with racial bias, with, political bias. I've grown up in a country that both my religion and the members of the country have constantly shouted the fact that it is the very best. And you don't see the difference until you go to other countries who have lots of national pride, until you recognize that the things that you learned about a race. So I grew up in a town for the first 9 years of my life. I lived in Mesa, Arizona, which was a really big town. But at that point, then I moved to Pine Top Lakeside in Arizona, very small town, 3,000 to 6,000 people, expanded a lot during the winter because we had snow and people would come up and ski and things like that, or it was comfortable in the summer, so a lot of people would come up and snowbird. But I lived next to an older black couple, and there was one black boy in my high school. That's all I remember when it comes to African American and blacks. And I hope that I'm not offending people by saying black. I know that everyone has their own preference there. I've had lots of friends, and I have asked and investigated this. I've had lots of friends that preferred African American. I've had lots of friends that prefer black. I am not trying to be disrespectful at all. I hope that that can translate into what I'm saying. So I had 3 black people that I knew all of my middle school to high school growing up, and then even the first year or so of marriage. I just was not around them. And so you develop prejudices because you grow up around people that have them. Pretty certain that one of my grandparents was prejudiced just in the things that he has said or had said before he passed away. And it wasn't until really that I joined the Army and I was around every shape and size, every race, lots of men and women, and exposure to all of that was when I started to recognize my own inherent prejudices, my own biases, and work through those and work over those and get rid of them. Because I was around people who were spectacular. I was around people that sucked, and they came in all races. And I was able to gratefully get past a lot of those prejudices and biases. There's still a part of me growing up. And so every once in a while, they'll still creep in, and I have to manage them and recognize them and deal with them in a way that is appropriate and respectful to the people around me. So I don't believe that I'm the smartest person in the room. I am aware enough to recognize that I have a lot of academic talents that have really helped me to be successful in the academic realm and in the nursing realm. I'm very good at the procedures and things that we do as a nurse and now as a nurse anesthetist. I'm very good at those things, and I am not arrogant about that. I'm really just stating them as me recognizing that I am good at these things. I'm good at my job. And that can quickly and easily turn into arrogance, and that is not what I mean. It's not an arrogant thing for me. It is simply recognizing that's the case. But if I go back to this and recognize that I'm quick to assume I'm the smartest person in the room, if I can recognize that, it allows me to change it. It allows me to take concerted efforts to reach out to understand and value other people's opinions, recognize that they have good ones, to recognize that the IQ in the room simply doesn't matter, to recognize that the vocabulary in the room simply doesn't matter. The ideas that are presented can be incredibly valuable if I can let go of the fact that I'm the smartest person. And how does this apply to religion, to high demand religions, to other parts of our lives? If it kind of goes along with the one before that quick to assume that my solution will be better than yours. If I think I'm the smartest person in the room, and let me equate that a little bit to the structure of the Mormon Church. Whether or not Russell M. Nelson, who's the current prophet, assumes that he's the smartest person in the room, he does assume, because it is church doctrine, that he is the strongest person in the room, that his opinion carries more weight than anyone else's, that ultimately a decision will come down to him. If he doesn't like the decisions that are made, he can change them. That is very similar to the idea that I'm the smartest person in the room. And I would imagine that as a listener, you can understand why that's a problem. It's not okay for him to immediately assume that almost the idea of my way or the highway. Like, it's going to happen the way that I say. And that is... that idea in Mormonism and other high demand religions is backed up by the fact that, quote unquote, they're being taught by God. And maybe they are. Maybe they are. I won't take that from anyone. If you believe that they are being instructed by God, great. Good for you. Good on you. But if that belief that they're being instructed by God does not allow you to adequately assess a situation, then you have put yourself in a place of thought stopping.